Hey guys, there we go. Hi everybody, happy holidays. It's me, Sean Curley, live to you from Heroic Signatures headquarters. So we're gonna keep things casual today. I know it is 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, so a lot of you can't make it. So if any of you here are watching this after the live stream, please, if you have any questions, drop them off in the comments section and I'll be sure to respond to you as soon as I see them. Uh, but first, I figured we get started with a little bit of news. So this is kind of news from now to the end of the year, and then also just kind of a celebration and a thank you to you guys. So I kind of want to start off. Oh, thanks, Nick. You're the first here. I'm glad you're here too, buddy. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be looking at your comments and I'll answer them when I can. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so Nick's been collecting the whole run, and we'll get into news in a second, but issue 27, I mean, look at this cover by Doug Braithwaite. This is just incredible. I think it's actually, I mean, Doug's done a lot of incredible work, but this cover in particular might be my favorite. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Matthew. Well, to crush your enemies, Spade the Shadow. Do I think I'll ever see another King Conan movie with Arnold? I mean, I hope so, right? I mean, it's now or never, that's for sure. I'll bet Conan had an issue with Purgatory. What is that, Robert? I'm sorry, you caught me off guard. I don't know what that is. Any news on the Omnibus? So the Omnibus program is running strong. There will be a call Omnibus, but actually we just released the Solomon Kane Omnibus, which is super cool. So if you haven't picked up a copy of that, it's got everything in here, including the Solomon Kane stories from Savage Sword, and I believe Cull's Omnibus will operate similarly. We'll have, his classic comic run and arcs, and then also the Savage Sword stuff. So that's cool. But yeah, guys, keep asking questions. In the meantime, I just want to get into a little bit of news. So, coming up January 6th, speaking of Solomon Kane, we have our first Solomon Kane novel as a company, which is super exciting. That's through Titan Publishing and Heroic Signatures. It's called Solomon Kane Suffer the Witch. That'll be January 6th by author Sean Hamill. Super excited. Yes, absolutely. I'll get to that. That's going to be awesome. We will also have an EPUB coming out called Solomon Kane, Lair of the Merry Lwyd. That's December 23rd. It's actually a Christmas tale. Issue 27, like I mentioned, is out now, so grab a copy. Savage Sword Reforged 2, also very exciting. Savage Sword Reforged 2 is the Devil in Iron, a classic Robert E. Howard tale. I mean, the coloring on Reforged is amazing. Some people prefer it black and white, but if you're new to Savage Sword or you haven't read any of those classic stories by Roy Thomas, John Buscema artists, like I can't recommend it enough. Pick up a copy of that. Oh, Savage Sword number 12 for our ongoing Savage Sword series is delayed until January 28th. We want to get it just right, so that's going to be a bit delayed. But it will be released alongside issue 28, so that's good. The only other bit of news we have is we have an exclusive trade paperback coming out for Volume 6, Nest of Serpents. We'll get you more information on that soon. It's going to be a holographic cover, so if you're a collector, you're going to want to grab the copy of that. Okay, yeah, Matthew, thanks, and Matthew Morris. Is there going to be any other call stuff? Yes, we have a call series. We mentioned that at San Diego Comic-Con, but exciting news, we believe we've landed on an artist. I can't reveal any details about that yet, but I promise you're going to be very excited. It's an amazing artist, so we're really stoked to get started on that series next year. And there will also be a new Solomon Kane 4-issue arc that is being worked on by Pat Searcher. We need some more horror from the team. Worms of the Earth. I agree. We need more Worms of the Earth. That is actually my favorite Robert E. Howard story. I would just love to see Bran McMorn. I know a lot of us here are fans of Bran McMorn, so fingers crossed we can make that happen in the future. Who's the character? How come I haven't heard of Conan? I thought this was the talk show. Well, hey, Dan the Tube Man, check out the lore videos and you can find out all about Conan. That's what this YouTube channel is for. Speaking of which, I gotta thank you guys. This was, unfortunately, I had to neglect the channel a little bit this year, but I really appreciate the support. I know that the videos are sporadic. I have a lot of other responsibilities here, designing merch, running social, so many things. But next year, we are looking to get extra help, and hopefully, we will have more of a consistency to the channel. So that also includes more of a lore focused, right? The podcast will be returning, but this time with co-host Jeff Shanks. I mean, almost everything I've learned from that guy. He's incredible. I owe him so much. And so you guys will get to see a lot more of Jeff Shanks in the future. We're going to have a podcast that's all lore focused, and we're going to do deep dives, and that will help support the lore videos that we put out. So that's going to be really cool. And I also want to do more of these live streams. I think it's a great way to connect with you. I also think it's a great way to get news out. Uh, oh man, I really appreciate that. You said Spade the Shadow said this is one of his favorite channels. That means so much to me, man. Thank you. How are we doing on the new action figure? Is going to be another one following soon? Can you say who? If I could, I would. It's not even that we haven't really decided yet. We're working out our plans. One of the things about Conan action figures was last year there's too many of them, and we'll admit to that. Uh, and we want to make sure that we space out our figures with our other partners that have licensed the character. So we're trying to decide on what to do next. I know that we've talked about the possibility of Solomon Kane or Cull, so that would be exciting. I personally would be really stoked to see a Solomon Kane action figure. El Barak. El Barak, I believe there is an El Barak story scheduled for next year. So I'll ask Chris. I'll confirm with that. We'll go say hi to him in a second here, and we'll find out. But I agree, more El Barak would be great. I do know Dark Agnes is something we'd like to do more of, and we're trying to complete that Dark Agnes series. So that'd be cool. Will you ever interview Michael Moorcock? I mean, yeah, if I could interview Michael Moorcock, that'd be amazing, right? I mean, he's a busy guy. I have a lot of guests on my dream list. Michael Moorcock would be one of them. So, but yeah, thanks for asking. I mean, we might as well we reach out. It's just a matter of like what's the right time to do it. Oh man, I agree, Matt. By the way, Matthew Stewart helps out a lot. This past couple months, he's been helping out with social. He's great. You guys all know Matt John. He's amazing. Uh, Check out his books. But yeah, Almeric, Matt just mentioned Almeric. That's a great story. I personally would love to see Almeric. I think it's super cool that. Well, first, it's one of the only stories that Howard wrote that connects to the galaxy and takes place on another planet. Um, there's a lot of connective tissue in the other Howard stories if you look close, so it'd be really cool. Would you get Carrie Nord to do more? Anytime, anytime. I mean, you kidding me? Who were we going to turn down Carrie Nord for a Conan cover? Of course. If he was down to do it, we're down. We'll take all the covers we can get out of Carrie. Um, how their baby blankets doing, Willie? Hey, Willie, shout out to Willie the Priestess. Willie, you always are one of the first to comment on my videos. I appreciate you. I know you. Thank you so much, man. Willie's one of our biggest supporters, but he's talking about the baby blankets. Unfortunately, we have not been able to get those in time for Christmas, but we would like to do Conan blankets. And this is kind of funny because we did not intend for this to be this small. When we get them, they will be a lot bigger, but they're going to look like Frazetta paperbacks, Savage Sword old school magazines, and I also made one that's a VHS cover for Conan the Destroyer, complete with like the front and back and side. So, which Conan crossover game or comic would be most likely to happen next? And do we have any updates on the Howard House? Okay, so those are two things. The first question is about crossovers. There are no planned crossovers outside of Howard characters. Obviously, the Scourge of the Serpent miniseries, which is about to complete soon, issue 4 is coming out in January. And that is a great crossover. If you haven't read it, check it out. John Kirwan, Cull, Conan, Brule, all facing a crazy cosmic Lovecraftian threat. So that's our crossover. And then the next one will actually be Tides of the Tyrant King. I can't tell you too much about it. Yes, I agree. Pat Zerter is a boss, Luke Thomas. Can't tell you too much about Tides of the Tyrant King yet, but it's going to be exciting. That'll be our next event series next year. You're going to go crazy for it. It's going to be really cool. So that's a crossover. The other question was about the Robert E. Howard house. So speaking of Robert E. Howard, there actually are a couple of things. First off, his 120th birthday will be this January. I would like to put up, I have a podcast planned for that actually. I interviewed Mark Finn. So at the very least, we can expect a podcast. That'll be a lore video all about Howard. I do have a lore video on Howard that I owe all of you. So hopefully we'll get that out soon next year. But the house needs our help right now. We're trying to raise money to fix it. It's in Cross Plains, Texas. This is where all of Conan's stories were written. I visited 2 years ago. It was just a really amazing experience for me. King Cronan, how about a Conan Santa? Okay, we'll get to that. King Cronan. It was an amazing experience. And so, yeah, next year we'll talk more about it. It'll also be the 40th anniversary of Howard Days. So if any of you are hardcore Conan fans that want to make that pilgrimage to Texas, next year will be the year to do so. Anyway, I will put a link in the description of this live stream if you guys want to donate to the Howard House to help fix it. Yeah, Santa Conan crossover. So Marcos Cronander, who's pretty high up here at Heroic Signatures, that's actually the only reason he joined the company, is because he really wanted to do a Conan Santa Claus crossover. And we keep telling him that it was kind of already done with Violent Night starring David Arbor, but he's just like, whatever, I don't care. I want that Santa crossover. So he's working pretty hard to get that made. Fingers crossed we'll have it in 2027. And also, that's totally not true, you guys. I'm just giving him crap. That's Marcos Cronander that said that. Let's see. Any other questions you guys got? Because otherwise I'm just going to keep rambling, and I've missed a few of your questions. So please answer, or, just let me know what you want me to reveal. There you go. Thank you. Also, Violent Night has been my favorite Christmas story since it released. Hey, man, I agree. I totally agree. Will Bart Sears ever do any more Conan work? If you guys ever want any writers or artists to do anything Conan related, drop us comments on our Instagram, YouTube channel, and we'll consider it, because we want to give you guys are our supporters. You keep us going. And if you have ideas for who you'd like to see in Savage Sword or for a cover, we'll consider it. Any plans on releasing trade paperbacks, the original Savage Sword of Conan? We talked to, okay, I got to actually read these questions so you guys know what I'm saying. Yeah, we've talked about releasing trade paperbacks of the old school Savage Swords of Conan. There's no immediate plans yet, but it is something we're talking about. Could you do an interview with MJ Bassett, who directed Solomon Kane in the new Red Sonja movie? I mean, that'd be cool. I'd love to do that at some point. I really actually like that Solomon Kane movie. It's fun. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. The vintage toy market is way up. Would you consider doing 80s style toys? Well, there's no immediate plans for that, but we also are big nostalgia fans here. I know that Marcos and I in particular have talked about doing a retro side scroller that would be like, 2D side scroller, kind of like the new Terminator 2D No Fate. I don't know if you guys have played that, but it'd be really cool if it was the original Conan movie, but also Conan the Destroyer would be a really fun side scroller. I think maybe even better of a side scroller because it's such a fun, campy film. Simon Bisley. Yeah, that was amazing, you guys. Simon Bisley's cover. I don't know if you guys saw that a couple issues back. I think it was the last issue, actually. That was a big deal for us because we all love Simon Bailey. I think it's Simon Bisley. But maybe I'm wrong. Yes, thank you. I was right. You made me question myself, and that's not great. Yeah, autocorrect can totally blow, man. Any plans on releasing trade paperbacks of the original Savage Sword? So yes, I kind of already answered that. We're considering it, and we'd love to do it. Skunkwork Studio says, I'm loving this channel. Dude, thank you so much. That means so much to me. Guys, I'm going to thank you a lot. This is partly a live stream to thank you because, I put a lot of work into this channel. Jeff Shanks really helps me out a lot with research. again, like that podcast is coming out. I couldn't do it without Jeff. I couldn't do it without Marcos. But most of all, I couldn't do it without you guys. Like I know a lot of you guys are regulars. You leave really encouraging comments. I appreciate it. And if you wanted to see anything for lore, just let us know. Alex Ross and Liam Sharp. Yes. So Alex Ross, again, no plans for Alex Ross, but I mean, that'd be amazing. Obviously, I actually have an Alex Ross right up here. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's an Alex Ross, Conan right there. Incredible work. Uh, I'm going to run the new Conan soon on another channel. I'm having trouble picking where to start with it. Okay, there you go. There's a question for you, Matt. If you're listening, someone's playing the new Conan RPG and they're planning a campaign and they want to know where you would recommend to start with. What territory in the Hyborian Age or kingdom would you set the campaign in? Yeah. So for next year, it's going to be we're gonna hit the ground running. Like I said, we got all those books coming out and stuff. But for the YouTube channel, I'm trying to decide right now on the next lore video. So maybe you guys can help me out right now. A couple things I'm contemplating. One would be the monsters of Conan. I've already interviewed both Jeff Shanks and surprise guest John C. Hawking. And so I think that'd be a really fun video. I'm excited to do it. Might hit, yes, Cosmic Horror. I might do that right out of the gates in January. There's also the Gods of Conan lore video that I think would be fun. And then the number one requested one, the Lovecraft versus Conan, right? I want to talk about how Lovecraft plays into the greater Robert E. Howard Conan mythos. Which Schwarzenegger Conan movie do you think is truer to Howard's stories? Well, yeah, obviously the first one. I mean, they take a lot of liberties, um, obviously, but in a good way, I think. I think the John Milius film gets a lot of flack, both Arnold movies, because they're like, oh, it's not accurate to the lore, but it really fits the spirit of Conan in a lot of ways. And you can say what you want to say about, oh, Conan would never be a slave. I'd agree with you, but you have to consider that this movie was made in 1982, right after the 70s, and it is a product of its time in the best of ways. It was saying something. A good movie says something about the time that it's made in, and I feel like Milius did a great job with that film, and the Arnold movies are beloved to all. I do believe one day we will get a movie that's very accurate to Howard's lore, but in the meantime, I think those Arnold movies will always have such a special place, and they did so much for Conan as a brand and IP, and so many people, including myself, discovered Conan through that movie. Um, I love I love all the Conan stuff coming out recently, comics, books, shirts, etc. But my absolute favorite is in the Tower of the Elephant illustrated book. Yeah, man, that's right there. Uh, by the way, I'm seeing a lot of questions about RPG. That's not my forte, but Matt John, who's also right now on the live stream, he'll answer any of those questions. So if you have specific questions, put them in the comment section and he'll answer you guys after the live stream. So Tower of the Elephant, this was amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen it, all hand painted, fully beautifully illustrated. I mean, I'd love to see this thing animated even, if possible. But yeah, we would love to do more of these. If you guys like it, then buy a copy. And if the sales numbers are crazy, maybe we'll do another. Oh gosh, yeah, Tower of the Elephant is one of my favorites as well. I always recommend Tower of the Elephant to people that are new to Conan or Howard. How am I, Sean? Okay. Yeah. No, you said, how are you, Sean? I am Sean. Yeah. No, I'm doing great. I mean, it's been a busy, busy year. Like I said, I'm juggling a lot of things over here. And so I do feel a little guilty, guys, that I didn't put enough content out on the YouTube channel. I would like to do more. But next year, hopefully we will. I'm going to try to be more consistent with it. But yeah, every day is just really fun. I don't, I'm living the dream. I love Conan. I love working here. I love all of our other IPs and the people I work with. And again, I love you guys. You guys are great. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I mean, really, I took a big break in after March. It was like April to July. I was creating merch for our Conan store. We launched our own store. A lot of it hasn't been released yet, but will be. And so that was a big side project that I did this year. Um, and I'm doing all the social stuff too, but it's a blast. I have so much fun doing this. It's really great. And then I'm going to Japan next year. That'll be fun. I also got married this year. I'm a married man, so that's news. Pretty lucky guy. Uh, Luke said, I would love creator interviews from Jim's Up. Yeah, that's one thing that I definitely slacked on a little bit this year. But I actually think it would be really fun. You guys let me know what you think. I ideally would love to do a interview with Jim and maybe an artist like every time there's a Conan arc. Like so every 4 issues, I think it'd be fun to do potentially a live stream. I think that'd be a great because I could do a podcast, but a live stream, I'm liking this interaction. So it'd be great for you guys to be able to ask Jim questions directly. He does a lot on his own channel, but it's nice to have him over here. And by the way, shout out to Jim. Jim has always been so supportive of this channel and all Conan social media and just the biggest cheerleader. And it's great because he's also writing amazing stuff all the time. So it's rare that you get somebody that does such incredible work, but then also is so generous with fans and people that he works with. So he's a good guy. Shout out to Zub. He is a superstar. Um, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, guys, it's been a great year. Oh, okay. So I gotta make an announcement. I feel like this is a little less happy, but unfortunately, I found out recently about the passing of Grim Dark Half Off. I don't know if you guys are familiar with his lore videos, but before this channel launched, Grim Dark Half Off was the primary Conan lore guy that was out there on YouTube. And I mean, his videos have hundreds of thousands of views. He has so many videos. And in the early days when I first launched this channel, he was very kind, supportive, excited. And unfortunately, he was very sick. So I did try to get in touch with him a few times, and that did not work out. I was unable to reach him. I actually don't even know his name, which is sad. So if anyone knows his name, let me know. But he seemed like a good dude. He loved Conan, and his lore videos are great, and they inspired me when I was making this channel. And so if you guys have time, and I highly recommend checking out his YouTube channel, checking out all of his playlists, and in his memory, because yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he passed away. It's really sad. So I'm sorry to bear that sad news, but just in his honor, check out his playlists and rest in peace. But yeah, I don't know how to come back after that one. That's tough. But anyway, yes, there's the first gateway into Conan stuff on here. Yes, yeah, I mean, he's got great stuff. I'll drop a link to his stuff. Hey, guys, look what we got. We got Fred Malmberg here.
Hey.